Welcome to the Church Explorer, and today we have got something truly special for you. We are in the village of Broughton in central Milton Keynes, and it's actually right in the centre of the new city of Milton Keynes, and we've got some truly fantastic things for you to look at today. We've got doom paintings, medieval doom paintings. There's just so many things in this church, and I do hope that I'm able to cover as many as I possibly can. So, and firstly, again, I'd like to thank all the new subscribers to the channel. Really fantastic that you have subscribed. So thanks again for supporting the channel, and keep watching and check out some of the other videos. This church isn't currently used, and it's in the care of the church's conservation trust, and there are some wonderful items in here for you to see today. So without further ado, we're going to take a wander around and see what we find. So here we have it, St. Lawrence Church, as I say, in the village of Broughton in Milton Keynes. And this is only a stone's throw away from the M1 motorway, can you believe? And in actual fact, I can hear the M1 from here, all the traffic on the M1. So I thought I'd show you around the graveyard first. And as you can also see, it's quite a horrible day here today in England. Damp, grey skies, and absolutely miserable. The tower, as I understand it, I think it's 57 feet high, something like that. And as we go round, I'll tell you a little bit more about the bells in the tower. I do know that there are some very fascinating items in this church. And also, somewhere in this graveyard is a medieval table tomb, I'm told. But I will have to do some investigation in order to try and find that. So I'll just pan around a little for you, so you can see where we are. We've got these modern houses over here and a park, and then off to my left, as I come round, going in that direction, is the actual old village, which I'll try and film a little bit about of the old village as I go through later. So let's come round. I've just seen a little... Ooh, the snowdrops are coming out, look. All the snowdrops are coming out. A sign of spring coming. I saw this little grave here, and I thought, and it's to Sheila Margaret Giles. I just saw that. I thought that was rather interesting. But yes, somewhere in this graveyard is a very interesting tomb, which, let's have a wander around the back here. Wow. It is cold today, people. In actual fact, it's bitter cold. Ah, that could be it over there. Obviously, over the years, there's been extensive restoration work done. I do believe most of it was done in around about the 1800s. Wow, it is horrible here today. Is this I believe this is it. I don't think we're going to be able to read any inscription. No, the inscription's completely gone. But if it is there, it's underneath all that moss. I can't make any of that out, and as you can see, it's also covered in water, or covered in rain. Look at this cute little door here. I just thought I'd show you as much around the church as I possibly can. As you can see, there's an awful lot of people who still leave. Wow, a lot of young people there that seems to have passed away, and they have little memorial stones here. Wow. Wow, that's got a little remembrance garden there. Quite nice. Let's have a little wander around a little bit further. As I say, it's terribly cold. I don't know what this one is. No. Can't make that out either. As we come into the church, the first thing that strikes you is this most fabulous door. It's medieval, and on it has the original sanctuary ring, which I will show you. That is the original ring, and back in the day, that if you was holding on to the sanctuary ring, then you couldn't be arrested. And I think you was allowed to stay in the church for something like 24 hours or 48 hours or something. Whilst I believe that, you know, you was given or able to find some type of defence against the reason why you were going to be arrested. But look at that door, isn't that magnificent? I shall show you the other side. The size of the key for this door, I don't have the key. A lovely chap that has opened the church for me today, called Raymond, he's taken the key with him. He's looking after the church on behalf of the church's conservation trust. But look at this, this is so fantastic. Let me, oh, here we go. I want to show you the back of this door also. Wow. There we go, people. Look at the size of the lock. Look at that. Isn't that truly superb? And what we have above it. Haha. Well, I shall show you that in a moment. Here we have the list of rectors. And the earliest one I see on here is 1261. Nicholas de Lega, I think that, or is that Lessa? Always like to see these, as we know, in the churches. It helps to date and give you an idea. And I hope these are coming out on the screen okay for you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a wander down towards the chancel. And then what we're also going to do after that, we're going to explore some of these wonderful medieval wall paintings that are here. They truly are extraordinary, and as I mentioned earlier, they are some of the most well-preserved wall paintings, medieval wall paintings in the whole of England. So here we are in the chancel. I do know this window above the altar here is actually a Kemp window. And again, because it's dark in here, I do have to be so careful of where I stand. I don't wish to fall over yet again. Whoops, there you go, almost. It almost had me. Yes, I hope that's coming on. And then we'll take a view back down the church. Again, I've got to be careful where I stand. I don't fall over. We'll take a view down the church, and then what we're going to do, we're going to explore some of these most extraordinary paintings in here. Here on this north wall we have a painting that dates back to around about 1470, and it shows Christ, dead Christ, in the arms of his mother. His right arm and leg are broken and mutilated. The central scene is surrounded by 9 men in medieval costume. And if you look on this painting, you will see that parts of Christ's body have been dismembered. This chap here is holding a foot. The chap at the top of it has some fingers. The one to the left of him has a heart. And over here on the left-hand side, this fellow has a hand. And there's one here. Whoops, if I come in a bit closer, that could possibly be the soul. Look at that. That really is something, isn't it? In medieval times, apparently, it was commonplace to swear an oath on the body of Christ, coupled with strictures on behaviour on the Sabbath. No swearing, no betting, no drums, no gambling, no fighting. And that is what this depicts, and was here obviously for people who couldn't read, but to remind them of those 4 things. Here we have another superb Kemp window. Oh, and I'm trying to get. I hope this comes out well. Stunning workmanship. And this is in memory of Myra Ann, wife of John William Irvine, who was the rector of the church. And died in 1852. This is dedicated, I believe, to the rector, John Hannington. He was a missionary bishop, apparently. And this is John Coleridge, who was also a missionary bishop of the Malaysian Isles. Malaysian Isles, if I've got that correctly. What we also have on this wall is, well, yet another example of medieval paintings. And again, I'm trying to be very careful. And on the left-hand side, we have Saint Helena. On the left-hand side, as I say, we have Saint Helena carrying the Holy Cross. She was the mother of the Emperor Constantine and died in 330. She is believed to have discovered the base of the cross upon which Jesus died. She carries a T-shaped cross, which was its original Latin form. Beside her is the figure of Saint Eligius, if I've pronounced that correctly, or Elio, the patron saint of farriers and blacksmiths, who was the Bishop of Tornia and died in 695. And underneath the painting, we have the instruments of blacksmiths. I hope these are coming out well. Oops. We also have a tablet here, memory of Edward Cowley, who died in 1835, which is covering up some of the paintings. There's a horse there. Can you see the horse? And of course, farriers, horses, horseshoes. What we also have on these chains here, this is the paraphrases of Erasmus, who was a Dutch philosopher and scholar, and translated the New Testament from Greek into Latin to provide, it says here, court of a vastly explained text to express the reforming of philosophy of Christ. And I'm just going to open this up very, very gently. Wow, look at that. I hope you can see this, people. It's not very often we have the opportunity to be able to review and see one of these lovely books. But look at that. Isn't that absolutely superb? Be very, very careful with it. The book was composed between 1517 and 1524, and it was published in the reign of Henry VIII, but was not received well by the monarch. Also, we have another book on the other side, which again I will come round and show you. Again, it's on a chain, and this one apparently is it says here, Apology of the Church of England by John Jewell, and again 1522 to 1571. And at the start of Elizabeth's first reign, those who said that the Reformed Church of England of Henry VIII's creation was a new church, she appointed Jewell, Bishop of Salisbury, in 1559 to dispute the argument. And I want to show you this as well. How wonderful. And this dates back to 1567, as I say. Let me just open this up and you'll see the difference in the text between the two books. Whoops, a daisy. Wow, how fantastic is that? You can see how old they are. Apparently, in 1564, Lady Anne Bacon translated the Apology into English to reach a wider audience. There would have been a rood screen going across here, and I understand that the opening to the rood screen actually sits behind this small organ. And again, there would have been, and I would have thought, because normally most doom paintings are across the chancel arches. That said, there are still remnants of a painting here. But it's not believed to be that this was doom painting. But having said that, it's very, very difficult to work out. And I'll come round and show you. And the paintings would have been, well, they would have covered the whole of the walls, as you can see. Again, the roof would have been lowered some years back. There, you can just see the opening there to what would be where the rood screen would have come across. I hadn't noticed that before. What I have found, and I'm standing underneath the tower at the moment, and there is this wonderful little font, and apparently it stood in the churchyard for over 100 years. It's mounted on an hexagonal bowl of a medieval font with heraldic symbols on the faces. Now, it is rather dark in here, and I will try to show you as much as I can, as I always do. But look at that, isn't that wonderful? And it's actually was a sundial that stood out. The sundial actually that's been placed upon it actually dates back to 1657. Look at that, isn't that wonderful? As I say, it's rather dark, so, and it's in a little as I pan up, you can see the workings of the bells there. And as I say, there's a ring of 4 bells. The earliest one, which dates back to 1632, but of course we can't get up there to have a look at the bells today. As I say, there's a ring of 4 bells up there, and they date between 1632 and 1470, can you believe? As I say, I'm right underneath the tower at the moment, and here, by the looks of it, there's an old briar to which they used to bring people to, well, in a funeral briar, which they used to bring people to church on, I believe. And as I come round, I want to show you this lovely little door. It's so small. Here must be the workings for the bells. Yeah. Oh wow, look at this. I've not seen this before. This is the workings for the bells. And these, well, they appear to be wooden, and they go all the way up into the bell tower. As I say, I think the bell tower, or the tower itself, is approximately about 57 feet high. But look, I'm not going to press them, because otherwise I'd be ringing the bells. But look at that. So there's a peal of 4 bells up there by the looks of it. This recess that we see here now would have been the north door of the church, and above it is one of the finest doom paintings in England. These were covered over, all these wonderful paintings in this church were covered over in the 16th century, I believe. That's the church clock. Within the doom painting, we see an angel sounding the last trumpet. Plus also what we have Saint Michael weighing the souls. Our Lady placing a finger on the scales in favour of the soul, and on the left the gates of heaven, with a figure on the battlement above, and also a large seated figure, which we presume must be Christ, or the Lord himself. So to the left we have heaven, and if she moves the scales to the right, you go to hell. Now, another strange feature are these headdresses on the angels. Here, above this wonderful door, we have St. George slaying the dragon. Unfortunately, the upper part of St. George is actually missing, but it is truly a wonderful painting. And again, if I come in closer, you'll be able to see some of the sort of pigmentation. But these, again, were all covered up and plastered over in the 16th century. How stunning is that?
Well,